creature known as Venom has been a hero, a villain, an anti-hero, and oh so much more. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Venom Annual, the first Venom Annual ever, and find out, shall we? Alrighty then, so as we join the comic, we're at the Bar with No Name, New York's most famous supervillain hangout. The Band of Soaks, the Den of Dissolutes, the always pissed as newts clientele are doing what else but sharing Venom stories, of course, about how he's so scary, man. And yeah, if you're someone like the new Jack-o'-lantern who literally had their eye ripped out by Venom in the first issue of the Donny Cates series, then yeah, you probably would be scared of Venom, but for everyone else, like say, I don't know, Matt Gargan the Scorpion, they don't think Venom's scary at all. Heck, Scorpion was Venom for a bit. All of this essentially serves as a framing device for different criminals to tell stories about Venom, and also a chance to showcase a bunch of famous Venom artists. First up is Black Cat Felicia Hardy, saying how she used to think that Venom was nothing but a monster and pure evil back when he was beating up on her boyfriend, Spider-Man, until one day she followed him only to see Venom try and save someone from a hostage situation. Then they fought for a little bit, and Black Cat thought she would be killed, but Venom actually spared her, so I guess he's not that bad. And oh boy, I hope you liked that first story in that 3-part anthology, because literally every other story in this book pretty much plays out exactly like that. You see, next up, the bartender tells a story about one time how he was working bar at another place and Venom came in and totally picked a fight with Wolverine, but like classic Wolverine when he was wearing yellow and blue. And they like fought all over the place, man, and Wolverine thought, hey, you think you're a crazy beast man? Well, I'm a crazy beast man too. Maybe you should be less angry all the time. And then Wolverine totally spared Venom's life. Well, alright then, those first 2 stories didn't knock my socks off, but surely third try is the charm, right? The final story involves a time when Venom fought the Juggernaut back when he was the lethal protector of San Francisco. This was also at a point in his history when he was going through a multi-head having phase. I think we all go through that phase once or twice in our life, am I right? The guy telling the story talks about how super strong and unstoppable the Juggernaut is, but how Venom kept coming at him, showing that, man, he was really strong too. And how at the end of the day, Venom actually ended up embarrassing the Juggernaut, which is almost as good as winning, right? Well, those were 3 stories that weren't filled with very much substance or indeed much of an overriding theme. How on earth could they ever hope to save the first Venom Annual ever? Well, I'll tell you why. What if I told you Venom was actually in the bar with everyone all along? It's like the end of Almost Got Him, but with Venom. And yeah, that was Venom Annual issue number 1, everybody. If you couldn't tell, I wasn't much of a fan. I can appreciate Donny Cates for trying to do a celebration of the legacy of Venom by bringing back a bunch of old Venom creators. But hey, I'll freely admit that I am a new fair-weather Venom fan who only got roped into this series in the first place because Donny Cates was upsetting the apple cart and moving Venom so far into the future with crazy new ideas. Stories like this, nostalgic, well-intentioned or not, only serve to remind me why I never really was into Venom over the last couple years, because yeah, he would just show up, he would fight stuff, sometimes he'd be a hero, sometimes he'd be a villain, sometimes he'd be somewhere in between, and yeah, that would be it. In fact, I think it's super telling that of the 3 stories that they showed in this issue, not one of them actually talked about Eddie Brock or what he brought to the Venom Union like he's some sort of afterthought, because, well, he kind of is and kind of was. I wouldn't say I hate this story because, again, it was well-intentioned, it was just, I was so indifferent to it from start to finish, which is why I can really only give it a 5 out of 10.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out some of these other videos I have available from the channel. Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cape Joel, so you're always up to speed on what I'm doing next. And hey, did you know, outside just making great weekly comic videos, I'm also on several comic book podcasts, some of which are very popular. There's the Weekly Pull, which the shirt I'm wearing right now. That one goes every other Tuesday. Then there's the Elseworlds Exchange over on the Comic Pop channel. That's every Wednesday around 3 to 5, give or take. And then how could I possibly forget the Comic Multiverse, the show hosted by myself and Matt of Fortress of Solitude. That one goes live on this channel every Wednesday at 8, and also SoundCloud and iTunes later on. Be sure to check out and subscribe to those if you haven't already. I assure you, you won't be mistaken.